Welcome to codeCanvas. I'm Jason, and in this video we're going to take a quick look at our new tool builder. Okay, so now that we've logged in, let's go over to our tool shop. I'm going to show you how to build a new tool. The first step when creating a new tool is to locate the Properties branch in the Tool Project tree. Okay, so for this example, we're going to create a simple button. The base ID needs to be lowercase, no spaces, at least 8 characters, and separated with underscores. So let's call this tool underscore button, and the tool author would be me. If you're referencing a plugin that's not jQuery or jQuery UI, use these two fields to credit the plugin author and to provide the actual plugin name. We're not doing that here, so let's drop that in. And in the tool description, we want to provide a short descriptive to what the abilities of the tool are. So this is a button. And click Build Tool. And there we have it. Okay, now we need to start building our HTML. This example is going to be pretty simple. The first thing we want to build here is our container. We want to reference our base ID for our container. Remember that is tool underscore button. So in our ID, let's do that. And for our class, just for this example, we're going to also put tool underscore button in as our base class for this. That can be anything you like. And then we'll get into the JTools classes here in a bit. But again, first thing we want to do is we want to identify our ID. Starts with our base ID, which is tool underscore button. Then we want to add our unique ID placeholder, and that's right here. And you just click that. So now we've got tool underscore button, and the designer, whenever it sees this unique ID, it's going to, of course, assign it something unique for the design environment. And the next step here is let's create another area here. And again, you can do something with tool button. The base identifier really only needs to be on the outside. So the container contains the base identifier. What I can do here is go enter, and then you definitely want to stick the unique identifier there. So for anything that has an ID, of course you're going to name it with a base ID plus a unique identifier. Let's call this class enter, and for this, let's do that. Alright, we're going to add one more. Let's call this tool button icon, and of course, once again, our identifier, and let's call that icon. This is just to keep things simple. You can add anything you like, and then we're going to cut and paste one more, and of course I'm lazy, so there you go. Let's call this text, and the class why not, and you know we've got to stick our identifier in, and that's it. So let's stick the word button in and clean this up, and there is our HTML. So what I'm going to do is introduce you to the Save Tool button, and your tool's been saved. So great. Our next step is to build some CSS for this. So in our tree, we've got several branches here. We're going to look at the design branch. We're going to get rid of the runtime branch for now. In our design branch, we want to slide down here to our CSS. And the way this works is you can actually upload assets into your lib folder, images, or CSS folder. And of course, your lib folder would be any external JavaScript libraries. The images folder would be any images that your CSS calls, and then anything in your CSS folder, it could be multiple files, and you can edit those right from our designer here. So first thing I'm going to do is we're going to move this up here, and we're going to upload some assets. And that brings up our dialog here. This is a multi-file uploading component, so you can just choose all the files you want, and you can do PNG, JPEG, GIF files, any style sheet .css, or any .js libraries that you'd like to upload. Choose open, and then it does that for you. Choose start upload, and you can see that all of our statuses are 100%. Go ahead and close this window, and now we can go into our CSS window. You'll see that here's our button CSS. If we click that, we can choose to edit that file. So I'm going to move that up here, and let's make this manageable here. And then if you go over here to your images, and we're going to go ahead and reference both of these in our CSS. Okay, so the first thing I'd like to do is let's go ahead and we're going to close this window here, and we're going to leave our editor minimized. As we take a look here, you'll see here that we have a class that is tool button icon. And we're going to add another class here for the actual icon itself. And that'll let you be flexible with adding images later. So if we go back to our style sheet here, we're going to choose the class ICO-OK. This is just sample stuff. You can do whatever you like. I'm going to paste that in over here. As you can see, it's right here. And then of course we have the tool button icon class as well right here, and that's referenced in our style sheet as well. What's really cool about this is your update preview. Every time you hit your save button here, you'll see that it updates our preview for us. If you go over to our images, you're going to see that we've already uploaded the OK.png file. So let's go ahead and add that, OK.png, and you hit save. You'll see that it's updated that for you. As long as you upload your style sheets and the necessary assets, you can do everything here in real time. So let's add the classes now that allow this button to interact with the designer. Let's run up here to our container class again. Remember, this right here's the outside of our button is the container class that is actually going to interact with the designer. And let's go right on the outside of our tool button class, and let's insert the jtools_tool class. And that's the class that's going to allow our button to interact with the designer. So now that we've got that inserted, let's run over here and update our preview. Okay, great. So you see that our button now is selectable, it's resizable, and it's sortable. So it's now interacting with the designer. So what if you did not want it to resize vertically? Let's say we wanted to keep things, kind of, let's update our preview so it's perfect again. And let's say that we only want our users to be able to pull it horizontally and not vertically. So in order to do that, we need to open up our tool.js under design, and we need to insert a little JavaScript for that. Alright, so in order to save us some time here, I'm going to paste in some JavaScript here, and basically it just says keep it at 16 pixels. That way when you resize it, it'll resize horizontally and not vertically. So now that it's there, let's hit update preview, and you'll see that it is automatically there. We can drag it this way, but not this way. You'll have to trust me on that, I guess. And this will allow you to control its actions in the designer. So now that we've got everything done in our design bundle, we're going to get this ready for our runtime code. So let's go ahead and get this closed. And I'm going to close our design area right now just so we can focus on our runtime area. I'm sure you've guessed, tool.js is our runtime JavaScript. Because our button doesn't really have any of that, we're not going to put any here. But if you had something that your control needed to do at runtime, you would write your JavaScript here for that. The next step here is to create the runtime bundle. And if you click on bundle here, you'll see there's nothing in here right now. This will contain your JavaScript and style sheets for your runtime bundle. Your images will be stored here, and let's go ahead and upload some assets for this. We don't have any libraries for this, but if you had external libraries, you would upload them here. They would get automatically included into your runtime bundle. Okay, so for this particular project, being that it's very simple, we're going to include the same assets that we used for our design time, but remember, these can be the same or they can be completely different. You can have completely different CSS, completely different JavaScript libraries, completely different runtime JavaScript, and that will allow this tool to operate in the runtime environment, and it makes it very flexible. So we're going to go ahead and click open, and we're going to upload our assets. So now go ahead and close that. You'll see that our runtime images are there, and if you go into our bundle, you'll see that our button CSS is there as well. Okay, so now that all of our assets are uploaded and we've got our CSS in place, we're ready to check out our runtime preview. So go ahead and click that. And if you don't have any errors in your JavaScript, you should see the success dialog. If you don't see the success dialog, then you're going to want to open up Firebug and take a look at your JavaScript. So as you can see, here's our button and everything's good. So let's go ahead and go back to our tool shop, and here's our button, and we're going to go ahead and release that. And again, just like in our runtime, it's going to test the JavaScript and make sure that everything's good before it sticks it into your stockroom. And everything is good here. So go ahead and close that and go into your stockroom, and you'll see that our button's there now. Okay, so now that we've launched codeCanvas, you'll see in our toolbox here that our button's not there. So let's go ahead and click our tool options and manage our default toolbox. And take a look at our stockroom here. Here's our button. Go ahead and add that to our toolbar. I'm going to drag this up. Let's see here. Let's stick it right under our label. Save it. And close it. And now let's reload. codeCanvas is reloaded, and here's our button. Click. And that's it. So what we've done is we built a very simple tool using our new tool builder, then moved it into our stockroom, and then moved it into our default toolbox. You can see that it's very, very easy to create tools in codeCanvas, and it's got a lot of flexibility. The sky's kind of the limit between your style sheets and libraries and also JavaScript. So if you have any questions, feel free to contact me, and thank you for watching.